All right, we're going to head into the ranked draft Guilds of Ravnica queue here. I want to thank my sponsor this morning, Card Kingdom. Card Kingdom has everything you need for your Magic hobby in the physical realm. If you want singles, if you want to sell singles, if you want to pre-order a new product, if you want to speculate in the market and buy a bunch of cheap rares, or you want to sell off some of your collection to fund the next stuff, they got you all covered. And they ship everything fast, and they give you the best value in general relative to the field in both the buy side and the sell side. I don't know how they do that. Normally, like, you can lead in one of those, but not the other. And somehow Card Kingdom leads in both buy and sell price. Anyway, thank you, Card Kingdom. Thousand-Year Storm, we're going to snap that up. Nothing is ever going to trump the gem value of a mythic, really, if you have the 4x going. This is 40 gems for us. Would love me a Spy Bug, of course, and Integrity Intervention, fantastic Boros start, and strong pack overall. Maybe we'll see some of this come around, but we're taking the gems here. One thing I want to mention about rare drafting, I think I mentioned this before, but I don't think I've said it enough. Like, it's not just that, like, let's say we were going to take Spy Bug here, and instead we take Thousand-Year Storm. It's not that we say, oh, well, we could have had a Spy Bug, and that's just the end of the story. If we take a Spy Bug here, like, by taking a Mythic here, the quality of our available picks, pick 9, will be better. So if we took Spy Bug, chances are we would take a worse card, pick 9, than we will by taking the Thousand-Year Storm first. Yeah, voting is up. Should work, right? I just randomly clicked on Sonic Assault. I don't even believe it. You know what I believe here. I'll click on the right thing. Yes. Oh, actually, I'm not seeing percentages, am I? Let's see. Voting is happening. Percentages aren't. Let me try a restart. Sometimes that works with you old Deck Master. And draft you. Thank you so much. There it is. Easy insight indeed. So I don't need to see your votes on this one, but trying to get this working. There we go. Now the results are showing up, I think. All right, we're in it. Great. Easy insight. This one's a little less easy. You could argue Hypothesis or Sabotage. Sabotage keeps us on one color, but there's also Vivid Revival. We should probably just take the gems here. These are both good, but I'm gonna be gem disciplined here. Grind it up. Smelt Ward could make for a nice start on an Izzet deck here, probably wheeling the Mesmerist. We could take the Hawk and potentially end up Boros. Let's check our print run here too. In fact, I didn't check the print run last time. Should have. If anybody caught that last time, let me know. But this time looks like we have League, Guildmage, or Sunhome Stalwart. So it was all uncommons. Okay, thanks. Oder? Sup? No, Udaman. All right, we'll take Smelt Ward. Here we can break harder toward spell deck, although I don't think Electrostatic Field is great in the mono-red aggro deck in Standard. I don't know if I like it in Limited, though. I like a Guild Gate, but we don't need to take a Gate here yet. Probably just a cover up here. Maybe wheel the Leapfrog if we end up in Izzet. Looks like there was some support for the field. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. I mean, I guess it's going to do some amount of damage. It's just got the wrong toughness to me. Like, that 4 toughness is, you know, we love the crab and stuff because it blocks green 4-power creatures. I feel like Electrostatic Field doesn't block enough for me. Stranger Colin likes it, though. Hey, Tron, we have a new to print one run. person here in the chat. That's cool. We do this all the time, Tron. If you click that link there, the GRN Uncommon Print Run, you'll see a list of all the uncommons in Guilds of Ravnica. And in Magic the Gathering Arena, the draft packs contain uncommons in a fixed order. So if you go to that link and you look up Electrostatic Field or Sprouting Renewal, you will see either there'll be a card that's missing right in between the two and you know for sure exactly what was taken, or Electrostatic Field and Renewal are together and the card that was taken was either the one to the left or the right of that pairing. And so, yeah, exactly, Tron. It's basically it's not a feature, it's really a bug, or it's a mistake, and they should fix it. They just haven't yet. And so in the meantime, we should be taking advantage of it. And those who do get a huge advantage, because as we've seen time and time again on the stream, the bots are so rigid that once they decide they're into a color pair, they're never looking back. And they are so rigid about that identifying your open seat is really a big part of getting a cohesive deck in this format, especially when you're rare drafting heavily. Like, one of the reasons I think we get away with rare drafting successfully around here is that we use things like Print Run to establish the open colors and really get the hookup so that we have plenty of playables. And if you can do that and get plenty of playables, you get doubly rewarded with both a good deck and the ability to rare draft without it hurting you as much. Yeah, and so I have an app here made by one of our viewers that you can look up in our Discord. I should actually get a permanent link for it for this specific app. But basically, this shows me what the possible missing uncommons are, so I don't have to go looking at that link anymore. I just use this app, and it's showing me Wee Dragonauts as the 100% definitely missing card. So that impacts us. We see that maybe isn't as open as we think. Interesting. So I didn't see here. I want to see. Yeah, it blocks. I can't get behind it. I'm going to take the cover up. And here, with only one uncommon, there's going to be a lot of possibilities, but we can look anyway. And it looks like Circuitous Root, Molder Hulk, Dimir Spybug, and Integrity Intervention are missing. So this is probably a pack that's missing Spybug and Integrity Intervention. We don't need to read any, like, Smelt Ward is fine and everything, but it doesn't mean we have to force ourselves into Is It here? We could take Pass Wall to stay in the color we know we're in, or Dowser if we want to lean towards Dimir. But I don't know if Dowser's should be our first black card. You know, I like to get into Dimir, but not over a Dowser. Yeah, I'm kind of with where Chad is leaning. Just take the blue card, because we know we'll play. I don't want multiple Pass Walls either, but I do want one, and we are playing blue. So it's a solid pick here as we try to read what the bots are telling us and settle into the correct seat. Uncommons missing, likely, looks based on what's possible. It's probably Truefire Captain and Disinformation Campaign missing from this. So, we're seeing Is It, Boros, and Dimir all taken to the right, and those are the three color pairs we really want to be in. So maybe we don't get the perfect hookup, but really here we've got to figure out if we want to take we can take a Dazzling again to stay blue, but I kind of like a Gate here also. If we end up, but this is a playable, and if you do rare drafting, you do want to be keeping an eye on your playables. Make sure you don't end up too short that way. So this is a very close one between these, and I even eyeing that Bats, but it's really between these two. And it looks like chat's in support of the Dazzling, so I'll take it. I'm cool with the Dazzling. Here's a Crab we can take to stay on the single color situation and continue to stay flexible and not necessarily worry about the Minotaur, but we also have a fresh-faced Recruit that if we do end up Is It is probably the best card in the pack. But I'm content to continue to take blue cards as we figure out if we're breaking Dimir or is it. And then we see that Night Veil, Sprite, Banneret are the likely... Well, there's a lot of good ones. Status Statue, Night Veil, Sprite, Goblin Banneret, and Assassin are the possible missing uncommons here. We're getting less and less info out of this print run, but it's still worth checking. And yeah, we'll take a crab. I'm down with the stay with the single color until we figure this out. And we're back to pack 1. And this is what I was saying. So we rare drafted. Maybe if we hadn't rare drafted, these both wouldn't be here. You know, instead we get a choice. Yeah, we could do as we did that. I did a stipulation draft of draft off guild in GRN, and we ended up Azorius Flyers, and it was solid. But we can just take our second cover up here, take care of that. Now we've got that little combo. Here's a free boar, basically. And a wave as well. Yeah. I still don't think of us as is it. I would abandon these red cards if, in fact, I'm going to take the shade here and keep that back door open. I don't know who Raikun is queen, but hello. You type like me. Yeah, green is very open and still very not interested. Here we're going to snap up the rare again and be pretty happy about it. This is a pretty miserable pack. Like, I mean, if we didn't take the rare, we're taking, what, a Guild Gate? Or Plaza, probably? Probably Plaza. Yeah, this is a very weak pack for us. Phone typing sucks. Typing sucks. You seen these fat fingers? Oh my god. All right. Yeah, we're rare drafting here. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah, this is the... although we don't have... remember, we don't have 4X of everything here. But I still like these particular... So we're not necessarily even getting gems out of these, so I got to be careful about that. I was actually approaching rare drafting here as though we had 4X, and we don't. Still, I believe that this is... I was saying last week, I'm not sure if this account is going to get to 4X levels or not. And if it does, it's definitely correct to keep rare drafting heavily. And if it's not, it's probably correct to take deck power. So I'm curious. I'll decide if we're rare drafting, but from a voting standpoint, I'm curious if at this point, if this rare were not here, whether you'd be more interested in Notion Rain or Wojek Bodyguard, given our current... Or, you know, possibly fresh-faced. But basically, are we leaning Dimir, or is it, if we were taking a non-rare here? Selesnya is draftable because of that. That's the thing. The bots are very rigid, but they're rigidly leaving you Selesnya, and it's not impossible to have that kind of success with Selesnya. So a little bit leaning towards the Notion Rain. Interesting. About 50-50 though over there. Yeah, Notion Rain is strong, but three red spells in the pile already to go along. So basically this pick, it's like, imagine a pile of Wojek Bodyguard, Smeltward Minotaur, Cosmotronic Wave, and Rubble Belt Boar, and a pile of Notion Rain and Veiled Shade. Those are really the two piles we're choosing between here. And when you think of it that way, it can sway you back to the Bodyguard just because you have some depth here, and we've done some rare drafting, you know, so you want to make sure that you end up with playables. So it's a close call. And I think, let me look at if we have 4 of those. No, we only have 1 of those. We do have like 1 rare wild card. Do we? What do you mean we have some nice green-white? We have Night of Autumn. That's A, right? I mean, that's not very good, right? Anyway. Definitely don't think we're Bant. Don't think so. Yeah, it's been a little bit. So because because this account, I'm gonna ease off the rare drafting pedal here because we don't have 4X on this account, and go ahead and take the bodyguard. So now, Luminous Bonds. It looks like it could have. There's Boros, although Boros was not flowing the other direction. So looks like we may have found our seat with Izzet here. Got the League Guild Mage, and maybe wheel some of this action. I don't know. Command the Storm, I like best here. Radical Idea is playable in Izzet. I don't really like it in other decks, but we could also take a Guild Gate here to be able to splash black bombs that come our way, or maybe some black removal if we get like the uncommon removal. Trouble is, usually I'm Dimir splash red. I don't know about Izzet splash black. I don't really, there's the black that you know is not super splashable, right? So, but we'll probably wheel this as well as the thing, and I don't love it. So I'm going to take the, we could also take the gargoyle. We have no gates yet though. I'm going to take the gate. I'm not sure what we'd be splashing with it, but I think it's a flexible pick. And if this were, unfortunately, it looks like, well, I guess Conclave Tribunal may have been taken out of here. Could be, is it Crackling Drake or Conclave Tribunal is missing? Well, we take the other gate, then we really have the black splash. Or we even have a backdoor back into Dimir where we could splash Command the Storm. And I've splashed League Guild Mage before. It doesn't seem like a great splash, but honestly, it's the abilities it has are really good late game. So even though it's like a 2-drop, you play it untap, and then as a splash card, it can do some reasonable stuff, I've found. So I'm going to take another gate and leave that option open. Here's an example of what someone was talking about, that basically Selesnya is always open, and you pick up stuff like this pretty late. But yeah, this deck is getting weird. Sure Strike. Yeah, I'm with you on Sure Strike. Let's get some, well, you take a Fire Urchin too. 2s are just super important. Yeah, I'm sorry, let's take the Fire Urchin. I kind of didn't see that. I was like, Sure Strike, but then now we take Fire Urchin. This is the bad 2-1 for 1 and a red, but we'll take it. I've played a Gravitic Punch like once last week was like the first time I played Gravitic Punch, I think. But again, it can make the cut sometimes. We'll see. Going back to the 2-drop situation, we'll pick up a 2. Not running this. In fact, I'm just going to take Vault Progress. Right here, someone will help you out with the link. Maniacal Rage is not unplayable, but not my favorite. Yeah, this deck has been kind of weird, but we also have, we're close to playables, so I think we'll have a functioning deck, you know? And here we get to decide whether we want to put, let's see, let's check our, oh yeah, and I have 4 mission briefings. So in this case, we're gonna, it's both playable and it is a straight 20 gems right now. So we're taking the mission briefing. Sorry, watcher. All right, hooked up. Sad to pass my favorite 2-drop in the set. Seriously, just favorite 2-drop in the set right here. Oh my god, Night Veil Sprite. I love you so much. Let's see. We could take a Justice Strike and look for a white splash. We don't have the lands for that yet, though. This is what I mean. Like, we can splash black, but we don't really have anything we want to splash. So probably just a sad leapfrog here. We could take Plaza, sure, but yeah, I think we just have to take a sad leapfrog. Smelt Ward. All right, try and wheel that. Maybe play it. Blaze is good, but this is an interesting pick. Sizzle or Blaze? Trying to wheel Sonic Assault, maybe, or Cosmo Wave number 2. But this is Sizzle versus Blaze. Yeah, I'm with the Sizzle crowd. Blaze is nice, but it's just, this is just more valuable to what we're trying to accomplish, I think. Blaze wins games, but, you know, honestly, so does Hypothesis. Have you read it? It, like, draws you a card and kills something? It's pretty sweet. 5 mana, kill one of their best creatures, draw a card. Thumbs up. Yeah, another Dazzle. We're not doing anything with, like, Surveil triggers and stuff here, but we'll still take the Dazzle. We can take Locket, but, yeah, Dazzle's all right. We might need to look at Curve here, although we're taking a 2 no matter what, but is it, which 2 do we need? Based asks, do you know if the devs are planning on implementing human drafts or just trying to improve the bots forever? When I was at the company, we were planning on implementing human drafts, but it wasn't on the schedule. You know, it was like, yeah, we're totally going to do that, but we can't see it right now because we got these million other things ahead of it. I don't know if that's changed. All right. Mesmerist. Ooh, there's a Stroke, but probably maybe just need a Bargent here over a Stroke. I think I like Bargent, don't you? We've already got a Cosmo Wave, or I'd take a Wave. I do want like 1 wave, but I don't necessarily need 2. I think this is Bargent territory. And Urchin versus Stroke. I guess if we take another Urchin, we can, like, not play the Locksmith, maybe, although it's not like the Urchin is great either. Maybe we just need a Stroke. We're not taking that Gate. I don't think we're trying to do anything with white or green. Or Gates. I don't know why there's a Gate vote. A little bit of support for this, a little more support for the Stroke. Yeah, we can take the first Stroke. We don't have a Stroke yet. Another Gravitic Punch that we're not going to play, and a Guild Gate we don't need, so let's take Vault Progress. I don't think we're playing this, but I'll take it. And here's that. Yeah, in fact, let's take this out of view. I'm not a fan of Maximize Velocity, but we'll take a look at it since this is the type of deck for it. There's another free Locksmith and a Locket that we probably are not playing, and a Street Riot. Oh, wait, hold on. Before, I want to make sure we have 1 rare. I want to make sure that none of the rares we took we're 1 off of. Let's see. Vivid Revival, Night of Autumn, and was there anything else? Expansion. Help me remember when we get there. Vivid. 2 away. Explosion. We've got the Explosion. And then what was the other one? No, I don't consider Street Riot. I don't think it's a playable card. It's not impactful enough for 5 mana. And what was the other one? Oh, there's Mission Briefing. Except we already had that. I checked that one. Night of Autumn, thank you. Night of Autumn, we're at 1. So we have no ability to craft a single rare, unless I missed another rare that we took. So I don't think we have any crafting to do to squeeze some extra gems out of this. But we get the 40. I'll make a note of that in the old spreadsheet. I got my had a lot going on this weekend, but I did manage to get the spreadsheet fully up to date. It's got, if you're new to my stream, you can see my full results of every match I've ever played on or off stream since I started streaming. And it helps us track how we're doing. And right now, match win percentage is hovering around 60%. Our net gems spent is in the black, actually. By leveraging, anybody can be in the black if you have time. Honestly, open 3 accounts and track them the way I am and grind gold on all of them and turn them into gems, and you'll look like a profitable Magic player, because it's easy to profit when you're splitting your play among 3 accounts and putting the time into the grind on those 3 accounts. But if you're just running 1 account, it's a little harder to keep that gem number above in the positive. Anyway, I'm going to add a column for today's event here. Track this grind before I forget about it. And that's 40. All right. This deck is okay. Our vault has hit 100%. Some people leave their vaults unopened because, in fact, I guess we didn't get the vault progress, because like now we would have the wild cards to actually get some gems out of this, but we'll go ahead and open it. Oh, wait. We'll build our deck first. That's fine. Should we play Thousand Year Storm? I don't think this does anything. Oh, maybe. Yeah, we're not doing that. I don't think we're playing that. Don't think we're playing that. And probably not 2 of the locksmiths. Maybe even... I don't think we're playing that. 14, 11. Hodder, I haven't done FNM for a few months, but I do sometimes. Typically, if someone like Adam pings me and says, come play FNM with me or something. But most of my physical play is at pre-releases. In fact, that reminds me, I gotta reserve my spot at Card Kingdom, or they will go fast and I will not have a place to pre-release. Oh, we didn't get any Izzet lands. That's too bad. Especially for Explosion. Although we want to have a nice, healthy land count before we do that anyway. Probably cut one of these 2s. Probably a Fire Urchin or a Locksmith is our worst 2. Kind of want to cut Locksmith and leverage the one power on the Fire Urchin a little bit with Bodyguard and Bargent potentials. But maybe that's just, you know, it does combo with our instants and whatnot. We'll give the Urchin a try to start, I think. And then one final cut. Maybe Leapfrog. Oh, thank you. Let's go deck building. Get out of the way. $13, $11. Could cut either one. Maybe even a Crab, although Crab gets successfully mentored by Bodyguard and Bargent as well. Starting to lean Leapfrog, actually. Although we're pretty low on 3s. Yeah, it might, Vargan. I'll see what... hopefully at least comes with a reserved seat. Yeah, like whether or not they pay for it or not, I just want a seat at the table. All right, so let's make a final cut here and name this deck. Let's see, we've got 3 MesmURs, so it's probably gonna MesmURs. And I should even cut one of those. Maybe a Dazzling. I like Dazzling much better when we have Surveil triggers and we have Death Touchers. So without Surveil triggers and Death Touchers, Dazzling takes a couple notches, goes a couple notches down for me. Also because Dazzling tends to like, all right, we're on defense in Dimir, and we're going to shrink your guy and eat him. And like, we're trying to just race here a little bit. I think we're going to start with one Dazzling on the bench, see how that works. That's fair. Okay. I like one. I could cut both, but I'm still enough of a fan of Dazzling to run the one. It's especially great against Mentor. When you blow out a Mentor effort, it feels real good. So let's do that. All right. This deck's fine. It's fine. But, you know, it's got the explosion at the high end. Got some removal. Got some aggro. Let's see what we can do. Now we'll go to our battlefield scene. Crack this. All right, let's head in. Thanks to my sponsor, Card Kingdom. Sure. About how often? It's not something I've been tracking, but they start to come pretty fast and furious at the end of a format when you're, or even in the middle of a format. It doesn't take too long for you to get all your uncommons and commons filled out. And that's where it becomes a lot easier to fill those vaults. What we can do is after our next draft, we'll take a look at the vault progress before and after the draft and see what kind of impact like a single draft can have on that. Just curving out right now. If we draw another 2, we get to leave stroke up while playing a 2. Bargent could be a nice 5, depending on how Oppo plays this. And actually, I guess we have a nice, we have a 4-mana draw card if they don't play anything for us to stroke. So that's cool. Don't want to see that Pelt Collector get too much bigger, but not much we can do about it until we have removal online anyway, so for now, we stay patient. Looks like they may be targeting the Guild Mage, but at least we get to use it before it dies, or stroke it if they try to kill it with something 4+ mana. And I will protect it, if given the chance. They might just be reading it, too. There we go. Yeah, we're going to stroke that. No problem. And I hope they attack. Aw. Aw. So, since they didn't, I think I'm going to sit on the Sizzle. We could use the Sizzle now, kill one, and make the other unblockable. And I'm going to kill the Death Toucher, even though the Pelt Collector threatens to be more of a problem, just because if they don't make the Pelt Collector bigger, then Sergeant gets to attack next turn, and by Sizzling now with the unblockable trigger on Smelt Ward, we get to attack with these two. So I'm willing to do that. Assuming we find something. 2 lands here would be brutal. It happens, but we'll probably ditch the Bargent if we're forced to, but hopefully we find something better. This is where we want to find our, you know, Dazzling and ditch that. All right. That's rough. But as I said, I think we gotta. I really want to use Sizzle as removal. Hopefully now we find our Expansion Explosion and make use of this little flood situation we've got brewing. Well, now we have Guildmage drawing us a card, and enough defense that I feel okay. I mean, if they play a 5th land for the Dissident and threaten to attack with a 5/5, that's kind of rough, but it'll take up their whole turn, and hopefully we can find some action with the League Guildmage here that lets us solve that problem. Well, the Dissident can't pump this turn, right? So that's something. If they attack with it, we'll certainly block with the Urchin and Minotaur. Yeah, now the Pelt Collector gets to get bigger here, but we can't really deal with this Dissident long term, so I'm pretty happy to make this trade. If it is one. If Oppo has a trick for us here, maybe I should be playing around that. But again, I feel like maybe I should have activated this to see what our draw is before making this decision. If we get 2 for 1 here, I don't know how we can come back, but I also can't... I don't think we can just sit here taking attacks from the Dissident, so let's try and get it. Good. Hey, thank you, East. Pretty happy about that. All right, we've got Cover Up or Insight, and we're close to start... Once we start copying stuff with League Guildmage, that's pretty hot. I'm hoping we have an excuse to cover up here, and then try and save Insight for a turn when we have 9 mana and can Insight and copy it. Oh, then we can get back in this game. And we're still in it. Like, I think they haven't applied a lot of pressure. This Collector can attack now, but that's the only good attack they've got at this moment. And we've got Cover Up for whatever they try here. Definitely covering that up. And we'll get Bargent, Sizzle, I think Stroke even. And do we want that Minotaur is my question. I'm going to leave the Minotaur. I don't think that's... I mean, we have another one that we might draw anyway. And I don't want a high chance of it. I don't think it is that great on this board. Well, there's our 9 mana. And I think I will be patient. Like, we technically could draw a card and Insight, but if we just wait 1 turn, we can copy the Insight, and we have enough life to make that, to be patient like that, and they're down to 2 cards. Hopefully one of them's a land. Play a land? Don't have anything? If they do something amazing before end of turn, maybe we insight. But if they don't have a very... If their turn isn't super impressive, we're going to go try and get greedy on the insight and double the insight up. That's not very impressive. So far... In fact, I should have at least... I could have drawn a card to see if we wanted to do anything about it while it was on the stack, but I just didn't... don't think I was going to counter it no matter what, so... Cool. So we can... Oh, we get cover up as well. Coming up, Millhouse, ladies and gentlemen. We get to sit back on all these sweet instants, and hopefully we have the time here to copy Insight, untap, copy Sizzle, because at 5, yeah, at 11 mana we get to copy the Sizzle. Well, we have the cover up, so I'm going to go ahead and put the Guild Mage at risk here. And we'll put the Urchin here and the Guild Mage on the 1/1 and see what they're up to. You called it. So let's see. They're going there and there with it. Yeah, we just cover it up, right? And then might even elicit a scoop. Resolve that. And maybe even here, we just don't want to even be greedy and we sizzle the collector. Yeah, I think I am. I think with that, we're at a place where we just take over. Like, I don't even need this wave. Heck, and with mission briefing, we can recast the wave should we need it. So that kind of sort of worked out okay, don't you think? And with mission briefing, we just have a lot of flexibility here. Wave, cover up, and sizzle all available to us through the briefing. And we can copy the briefing. Yikes, wow. League Guild Mage about to go off. Yes, you may have the Recluse. Oh, this is gonna be... This value makes me cry. Alright, I'm gonna trust the UI. I think they've made it so that things that copy spells just give you the chance to copy them. So prove to me you got it, wizards. Yeah, good work. Oh, so beautiful. And, like, we have things to... We need to pitch things for Insight, but we have so much going on now, we actually need, like, all the land we can get. So I'm actually gonna go play the land and get some creatures on board. And then this, with 6 mana left, allows us to mission brief the Mission brief, devious cover-up if need be. That's basically the shields down. I don't want to leave at this point. Should be able to really start to take over with some removal. Mesmerist and plus remove plus command will allow us to start attacking freely. Do we care about that? No, we're going to be attacking all out anyway, I think. We have this to shrink it. And we can command something. Copy and command. And then this. Yeah, this is not a problem. And I'm just going to draw here. Because here we're going to copy command. I'm going to take out their 2 big toughness. Because we're just going to keep attacking and shrinking, and the assassin doesn't really matter all that much to us. Next turn, mission briefing Cosmo should just be a win anyway. Well, do they have that? All right. Say, all right. Wasn't exactly a win, but they gave us the credit. Nice. Of course, my info is all wrong. I got most of my stuff into the right place before we played today. 1-0. Thank you for the cheer. Hooray for wins. Your account is free to play. All right. Is it your favorite guild in this this round? Oh, we did get an RNA pack, which is going to be gems for us. So let's crack it and take a note of the gems. A 40, nice. I like to track all the free gems we get from systems like this. Even though this technically wasn't ground as part of our event, it was a grind through pack prize support for just playing games. But since it happened during this event, we're going to track it in this event. Hey, GG. Had that one counterspell that flipped that game. Good game. Yeah, if I didn't have that, if I hadn't found that cover up for that mass pump, whew. Yeah, I just got lucky and didn't really give you a chance to successfully play around it because I kept finding a counter to hold up. I don't love this. We have no 2, no 3, but we have 3 spells, or 3 lands, 4 spells, and both are colors, so I can't really throw this back. We're also on the draw, so maybe we'll find a 2 or a 3 in the next couple of draws here. Yeah, it's... okay, they didn't play a Healer's Hawk at least, but that was my... the big worry when you keep a hand like this is Boros coming and just rolling you over. And here we... so it begins. We do have a Dazzling to thwart any mentoring that might occur. This is not what I meant by a 2-drop, but well played, Magic Gods, well played. Alright, well, at least we're heading into turn 3 at 20 life, but would love to find a spell that we actually want to cast here. That does not qualify. But if this turn isn't devastating and the crab sticks and stays, maybe we can be okay, but I'm really worried about like a CCDD, you know, the CCDD uncommon, or there's a lot of good stuff that can happen here. That's reasonable for them right now. Hopefully we can find... the crab stonewalls that, though. So this is where we just need this crab to survive, and if they attack both into it, then we have to presume that they have, like, +3/+0 first strike, and we can't make that block until we have protection. All right. Thank you for that sub gift. It's a great way to show your support for a stream. Is to give someone else in the viewing community a sub who doesn't have one. All right, crab. Help us out. This is a big crab, big crab. Come on. Come on, one time, no pacifism, no... You just have creatures. You can't... Oh. Well, like I said, we kept a hand that can get rolled over by Boros. I think it was correct, and just everything that we did not want to have happen there happened. And now we got to figure out how not to die. I guess we put a boar out and... Bargent at 4 power. No, I guess we put boar out. No, this even threatens to trade the boar. This is kind of your plague white of the of this set. But if we can get another red, we can explode something as well. We can explode the goblin. And if we... I guess if we bore, we at least have a saving turn of Dazzling trying to find something. So let's do that. Bore with a sad Dazzle is the plan. Oh, and I'm a complete dummy. They should be at 16. Oh, well. Sequencing. That's where your heuristics go wrong, you know? Like, play your stuff after combat. And I got caught up in what to do and didn't even take the extra 2. It's probably not going to matter in games like this, because this is about turning a corner, not winning a race. We're either going to turn the corner or not. So it's unlikely that the 2 is going to actually impact the outcome, but you never like to punt. So we're going to take the 4 and actually dazzle the goblin, because then we get to eat it. I'm going to do it now. The red gives us the explosion, and it is an instant speed, so we can maybe pile up on the Ladev. So we definitely want that, and then do we want Pass Wall? I don't think we want Pass Wall right now. Let's get rid of that. That's a real bummer. was kind of counting on that to survive. Yeah. Thought we had a way to potentially stay stable, but that ended it. Anything to mission brief? I guess if we mission brief Dazzling, but then we can't Bargent. We could we can explode for 2, and that doesn't do it either. I think we're just out of it on this. The other thing we can, let's see, we can't. Just trying to figure out if there's even any way to survive. It's got to be like mission briefing, copy, Dazzling with expansion. Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't see how that wins us the game long term, but it does give us a turn. We go to 1. Or that. Not like we had much of a chance there anyway. That was just the wrong deck for that hand. Too bad. Back in. This is a terrifying hand as well, but also I think another keep. Maybe it's not. Like there's nothing till 4 again, and we just need a mix of land and spells to do anything. Like this could go horribly wrong. The fact that it's a mountain and an island make it close, but I think we have to throw this back because there's nothing to do early. Not really anything to do early here as well, but I still like it a little better. See what we can find. Pitching the land. We need both land and spells, but in those cases I tend to surveil or scry the lands to the bottom and figure that we'll draw some naturally. Not exactly what we want to be doing. Not even threatening a counterspell here. Since stroke doesn't matter. At least Dimir gives us some time. But unfortunately, usually gives us time to realize that we didn't get there. That Dimir has turned the corner and we're dead. Slowly but surely dead. They kept on top. Alright, how about a spell that we want to cast on this main phase, please? I'll take it. Not the best, but also we get to leave the stroke up, so not the worst. Battle of the big butts around here. Well, Oppo's stuck on land. Maybe we can work that to our advantage. Need a land of our own to do much. Unfortunately, we cannot keep the stroke up if we cast the Guild Mage, but I think we have to go shields down for that. Because then we have, next turn, if we don't draw a land, we get stroke plus Guild Mage activation up, which is a nice pairing as well. This could be a dead weight, though. We haven't shown anything they can remove with a dead weight, so it's the kind of thing I might expect from a Dimir hand without land, you know, something they would keep. They didn't attack before, so I'm going to assume this is just a... Although we can... Let's think this through, because they are effectively saying, take this snitch, and we don't have the counter magic for it. If they have the dazzling, though, like, what could they do? There's no instant speed death touch here. What would the consequence of double blocking the snitch be? How could we get blown out by double blocking the snitch? I don't see it. Like, they can do some stuff, but then what happens is, like... But nothing turns the snitch into a stone-cold killer. Yeah, right, they could dazzle, but it doesn't... It's not a blowout. I don't see any blowouts for this block, so I'm going to try it. Yeah, okay, there you go, thank you. I knew there was something, like, what is going on here? And if it's status statue... I'm going to risk it. I mean, if they have that, let's tip the cap. Because it's even on... That's a splash card, basically. You don't really run status just because of this for status. So I'm going to say have it. Tell them to have it. Yeah, that was another possibility. I didn't mention it, but it was like, again, it was the same vein as Dazzling, where it's like, yeah, they might have that, but it doesn't actually... Like, it doesn't... It's not a blowout. It's just that we don't eat the snitch. Yeah, but I wasn't gonna 2-for-1 myself to keep the Darkblade agent from being able to draw a card. Interesting that they have surveilled multiple times and put stuff on top that's not a land, so I guess they're really happy with the spells they've been finding. As for us now, we have some removal up. We also have the possibility of Guild Mage plus Stroke now. We could also Bargent. That doesn't seem correct. Kind of want to take out that agent. We have to go shields down to do it, and we could do... Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play the Guild Mage again. They know we have it. And then this leaves us with both Dazzling Lights and Disdainful Stroke. And we could even potentially, now that we have the shields up, double block the Darkblade agent, and if they go for something like a Dazzle of their own or whatever, we have Dazzle to make the agent be ineffective. So let's see what they want to do here. This feels like Dazzling, but it's just going to be another kind of... We trade nothings. As expected. What do we like about those? Well, they're creatures. I like that about them. I don't know how effective they're going to be once Dimir unlocks some land. But I also like just being spell heavy. So I'm going to keep both of these, I think. No, this Vidalcan Mesmerist doesn't do enough. I'm going to keep the Smelt Ward, though. I think I like the Smelt Ward. We can go Smelt Ward plus Stroke, even. See how they surveil here. Well, they pitched a land, so I'm assuming they are going to play a 4th land on their next turn. Excuse me. Could even consider Bargent Urchin. Take a turn off and get the Urchin up to a 2/4. Not a turn off. A turn off from being defensive, I mean. Now I'm less inclined and kind of, well... Yeah, I'm going to go... Yeah, that's why I'm worried. I really kind of want to have this Stroke up for when they hit 4. So I'm trying to decide whether to play Guild Mage or Minotaur in that case. I think I'm going to actually play the Minotaur here and leave Stroke up. It telegraphs it, though. If we play the Guild Mage, we're not telegraphed that we have a Stroke. That's a reasonable, a worthwhile consideration. Especially if we're trying to get something like a potential Nightveil Predator or whatever. Alright, I'm going to play this, replay this, and we'll try and Stroke them. Surely you kept a land, Oppo. Or are you just a 3-mana kind of deck? You're just a 3-mana kind of deck. We are in the same spot here where I feel like there's very little downside to threatening the Snitch. And I don't want to double block and 2-for-1 myself against the Agent. We have a Command the Storm. We'll get it eventually. I guess Whisper Agent was enough of a combo for them. I can't believe they're not trying to get their land situation sorted out better. Leapfrog. I like Leapfrog because it can trade with a bunch of stuff and then we get to keep the Stroke up again. I think it's time to actually let go of this Guild Mage. We're at too low life to mess around with that anymore. That was always a possibility, but not much we could do about it. It depends on how much you need to surveil and how many creatures you have. But like, because dazzling isn't great unless you're doing it with combat. I tend to cap it at 2. I don't really play 3 unless I'm super desperate for surveil and stuff. can't command and keep stroke up. But how many more surveil triggers are we going to face here? Because if we put out the smelt ward, we can threaten to double block, but then again we have that situation, they surveil, and we 2-for-1 ourselves. Or we just take a turn to turn off on stroke to command the storm. But I feel like they're playing around stroke, and that if we tap out under stroke, then we're going to face a really nasty 4-mana spell. That being said, can we just sit here and take more hits from the Darkblade agent that allow them to draw cards? I think the answer is yes once more. Like, I'm going to do this. So the other thing is, if we draw a land, we get to have Command the Storm or Bargent and the Stroke. So given that it's just one more turn of risk, and if Oppo is out of Surveil, we'll see if they have the nerve to send in the Darkblade agent on a bluff. Huh. Hey, Timas. It was good. So, here we are again, you say. I'm gonna go lock, and hope if they do something, it's with 4-mana spell. Hey, it worked, everybody, it worked! And at 5, now I'm going to go with command here with shields down on the Darkblade. And stay back on D and try and turn this corner. But as nice as it was to snag that Predator, note that we are still 4-1 on spells. So my feeling for the rest of this game is not great. That doesn't help. And now we can't even really... I guess we can. We can Bargent. Go to 1. Happy for them to block with anything here. We've got some outs, but obviously they need to be on the top of the deck. Need some removal. Yeah, I don't think we can overcome all that. I don't think there's... I mean, maybe... Yeah, certainly not with that. All right. Beaten by my own beloved Dimir. And sitting on a really weak 1 and 2 here. Yuck. I'm gonna go rinse this bad taste out of my mouth with a seltzer. I'll be right back. All right, no problem. 6 wins in a row. Here we go. Yeah, Passover at Adams was good. There was a jerk across the table I had to put up with all night, but other than that, it was all right. I'm joking. Thomas there, TMAS81, was at the Seder with me across the way. He likes to think of himself as the life of the party anyway. I kind of kept that without... I was kind of talking, but with the double Mesmerist, I liked keeping this. But yay, I was going to say, we really do want to find some red, and we did. And Boros didn't play anything on 1 or 2, so maybe that's all right for us. But might mean they got a scary 3. Bodyguard. We could keep Stroke up, but we're gonna go ahead and play the other Mesmerist, and then next turn we have League Guild Mage plus Stroke up. No reason to copy that, so we lose a Mesmerist. Now we've got Stroke or Expansion. If they do something removal-y that we want to copy, we can copy it. But we'll happily just Stroke that. I know we have removal that we could take out with it, but especially against Boros with a Bodyguard, I'm just going to counter whatever I can with something like that. Could get in for the free attack, but with no real play that we want to make, I'm going to keep the Guild Mage back. I could wait and have Expansion and then activate Guild Mage at end of turn if there's nothing to expand. But if Dagord, I want to play a land if I have it. So I'm actually going to draw now simply because if we find a land, I really want to get it in play. We got an explosion we're trying to build up. No land. There's a land, though, so at least helped us find one for this turn. And now with Sizzle and Command online, we'll just keep attacking with the Mesmerist. We are in the 1-2 bracket, it seems, because I don't consider Street Riot playable. And this is a very weird, splashing green, and Boros is kind of also not where I want to be. Unless you got, if you got Tristani or whatever, you do what you got to do, right? But my eyebrow is raised at what Oppo's doing here. We do have mission briefing to Stroke if we want to do that. But looks like we just get to draw. They're playing around counters, makes sense. We didn't have any, but understandable. Going wide like that. Oh, right, not enough blue. Now we do, though. Let's see. I guess we now have to kind of sizzle the Bodyguard and be prepared to start trading off here. But we're at 20 life, so that's fine. And do we need to do that? Yeah, I'll do that. Shields down. So let's go ahead and sizzle now, I think. And I actually like the pass wall and the Mesmerist for Well, actually, the pass wall, not as much. Mesmerist successfully trades. The trouble is they're going to be 3/2s, so I want two powers. And now we'll stay back on D. Try to run them out of cards, and then we just kind of get to take over. So I'm just trying to avoid huge bombs and slowly wear them down. That's fine, for example. I mean, I just want to trade card for card as we build up here. Trample is a big deal, though. Like, that just wiped out a ton of our life. So we're going to play this, and now we've got some thinking to do. 4, 5, 6, 7. We can Mesmerist and Command and hope they're low. They have 9 power of Trample in that spot, and we take 8. Oh, maybe yeah. Yeah. Good call. Wave plus expansion is what we have to do. Definitely. All right. And it should give us that copy nicely. Yeah, not enough mana for that one. That was enough for him. All right. Back to even, at least. I love getting out of these with at least a 4 win, you know, get that 1 win above 500 feel. Yeah, this deck has some play. It's got to get some setup, but it can do some stuff. It's got some fancy angles it can take. Mission briefing and spell cop, 2 things that copy spells, you know. I made it 7 episodes into the first season of Game of Thrones, shrugged and stopped. I don't know. Sorry. Looks good. Hey, Oni, what up? Really, I feel like I've been forced into Izzet by bots more than usual these days. I used to be a huge basketball fan. My sports preferences have risen and fallen over the years, and basketball was at its peak in kind of the 90s, early aughts, probably. And now I don't follow it too closely, but I like watching the playoffs at the end. You know, yeah, I'll start watching. I love watching the best athletes in the world do their thing, so you can generally get me to do that with just about any sport, because I find it pretty cool. Okay. Well, we can shrink the Gorgon, but it doesn't do much for us, so we'll just play another Mesmerist here. We might just be experiencing different bot preferences. GRAP is not drafting a lot of Izzet, and I've been drafting more than I usually end up in, and this feels like we're just getting, you know, trading with a trick, but I'm fine with it unless there's, I just don't want to get 2 for 1 or like if they get super value out of it, but I think this is fine to offer this up. And we'll throw a boar down here. And they can trade with this if they want. I don't think they want to, but, you know, it's an offer. That's great. All right. That's annoying, but pass wall. Pass wall plus rubble belt is a 1-for-1. We're going to accept taking 4 damage to keep our cover up available. And then next turn we get pass wall plus cover up available. So yeah, we can't handle all these 4/4s, so we're going to counter that one. And we want MesmURs back in the library. They wouldn't be bad on this board, but I don't think they're particularly good against Golgari, so we're going to leave them there. Couple of double block options. We double blocked last time and got no tricks or anything, so hopefully if they come in we can make the same block successfully. We block with all 3, but then they take out the boar, and we still get we don't have enough to trade with it. So I'm going to just offer the pass wall and the boar. Actually, maybe the smelt ward and the boar. Pass wall, I think, is more valuable long term. Man. Alright, we're going to try to block that. I'm not going to sandbag land. We've got too much card draw. If I'm not blocking with the pass wall, I should attack with it. And I'm not, but I also need to make sure we give it evasion. I mean, if this doesn't do a trade, we are way dead. All right. All right. What do you got? Jeez. That is better than what we got. We need some help, help, help. I don't know what we do about that, actually. Let's see. At 8, we can only do 4 off of the expansion. Command the Storm plus a block. I guess we need Command the Storm, where we're going to lose this event. On a stinking 2-win. Ugh. Ugh. Come on, deck. Give us a Command the Storm, please. Anything else? Like a expansion with, we go back to back and find something that copies a removal spell? Oppo finding something other than death would be nice as well. I think this is it, folks. Start thinking about what we're doing next. Nah. I'm losing to a Moodmark Painter deck. Moodmark Painter. It happens. It's not the least playable card in the set. It's just one of the least. I think there's no outs, but we'll play it out just in case I'm not thinking of something. Weak. Yeah, it's a thing that can happen with. It can happen with anything. We got a little bit. We got a little flooded. Not really though. We just mostly on the rock scissors paper of the cards. Their cards matched against ours better. You know. All right, 200 gems and another rare mythic.